Hello, you guys. Welcome back to none other than story time on this here channel. You guys definitely read that title correctly. This is my first and only ever experience like this, if I'm going to be honest. And I get on here, I tell stories that are entertaining, that make people laugh, that maybe have some meaning behind it. And I just want to make it crystal, extremely clear before I even get into this story that this is not the place for you and your homophobia. This is not the place to make homophobic comments, to start any of that. The energy is not welcome. You will be blocked, you will be muted, you will be all of that. This is just my personal experience that will remain completely anonymous, because I'm respectful and I'm an ally. But it's just a crazy story because it's a trope that a lot of people say. They see like, oh, people who act like this or blah blah. A lot of times they be, and I'd never really experienced that, but I experienced this for the first time, and I wanna talk about it. It's all gonna make sense in the end. So let's just get into the nonsense. Once upon a time, I was in my dating app era, and so I matched with this one guy. Okay, cool. He's cute. He's fine. We matched. He DM'd me. He's in my city, county, whatever. He DMs me immediately. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like he immediately DM'd me something corny like, oh, like how do I pull you or something like that. But you could be a little bit of a corny if if you look good. If you look good, no shade. But I was playing into it. It was so funny because we literally, I think I had just like responded to the first thing he said, and he had a name that was like kind of unique that I had never really heard before. We're gonna give him a name for the story. We're gonna call him Elijah. So I does my research. As soon as he tells me his name, I'm kind of like out on Instagram just looking like, oh, does he have an Instagram? Or maybe he had his Instagram and his, I don't know. I had already looked. And then I came back to the app, and the app was like, it just stayed on the loading screen. Like it was down. It was down. And I was like, you know what? He's fine. He slid. I was like, I'm going to just follow him because why not? He's cute and I'm impatient and I want to see what he has to say. So I follow him on Instagram. He follows me back immediately. He's like, "How did you find my Instagram? Like, I thought you were lost. Like, my the app is tripping for me too." I'm like, "No, you're good. Like, I found you." And then he was like, "Oh, well, it's all good. Like, we here now. What's up?" And I'm like, "What's up?" So, we just start indulging in the basic dating talk. Like, oh, what part do you live in? Like, we're the same age. When's your birthday? Oh, you're in school. What school do you go to? He was a student athlete. He was a little basketball player. I'm like, okay, let me in. Right? So, whatever. We're just like, vibes are really cool. Honestly, y'all, like I said, you can get a lot away with a lot of stuff when you find, but he was he was giving lust a little bit. Like, I I appreciate when men compliment me, really make an effort to want to get to know me, of course. But like he was saying things where of course he was just being like very, very forward, like we're locked in, like what do I need to get to stay with you? Like we don't even need the app. Like he was just very, and those aren't bad things to say if you mean it. A lot of men don't mean it. They're just a little whipped and like, oh, what can I say? Like she's so pretty. Ah, ah, ah. So it was giving like a little bit of that where some of the stuff he would say, I'd be like, slow down. But I was really interested, so I was kind of just like, whatever about it. Sometimes boys are excited to get a chance with a pretty girl, whatever, whatever. So time goes on, like we are in Insta, I get his number. Probably for like 2 days, we're just texting like all day, typically. What are you doing today? Like I said, he was a student athlete, like all my practice, all like he was really doing his big one, y'all, because communication is my number one. Don't have me undelivered and post on your story. Now I got to block. Like I'm very like it's very high maintenance over here. It's high maintenance over here. Like he'd be like, "Oh, I'm going to practice." I'll be like, "Okay, like text me when you're out." And he'd be like, "No, like if I have time in between, I'm gonna text you." Like he was just doing the most. Virgo men, Virgo men love Virgo men love the game, right? I don't know what is wrong with me actually. All of my exes are Virgos. He was another Virgo. I don't know why I keep trying with you guys. Like, please leave me alone and save me the therapy sessions. But anyway, so he was really cool. So I think after like a couple days of texting, we decided like, okay, we're gonna FaceTime tonight. And we're like, cool, we're gonna FaceTime tonight. So we FaceTime, and he's cool. He looks the same. Our conversations still flow pretty much, and we're just talking about more and more stuff like, oh, do you live at home too? Like, how many siblings do you have? Blah, blah. We're just chopping it up. Like, again, y'all, basic first FaceTime stuff. We're flirting. We're talking about like school, work. And I remember he does tell me on the phone where he's like, I'm a student athlete, so I don't like have a job right now, especially right now, like we're in season. So he's like, because of course, like the older you get about dating, it's like I'm well, I was gonna say I miss like people always like to say unlinkable. I'm linkable because I feel like I give such slim choices of who I want to. Like there's a lot of men in my DMs who want to link right now, but no. Like you get what I mean? But when I want to, um this week, first week, like I just need a little time to think that you're trustworthy. You know what I'm saying? And so I was getting to that point where I was like, okay, like we finally FaceTime, and he told me that he was like, I forgot what it's called, y'all, but it's like when you're a student and you get like monthly money to like help with stuff. And he's like, yeah, I don't have a job, and like so I probably can't take you out until like next month when my thing reloads. Then I'll have like time to like come get you. We can go do something. And I was like, okay, cool. He was explaining that, and yeah, like vibes were pretty great on FaceTime. It was like almost the same as when we were texting. Um, Now here's when it gets. I have the magical trait of men falling in love with me the first FaceTime. Like I've never had a first FaceTime, first call with a dude where it was like, oh yeah, we just talked for an hour. Maybe we're talking the whole night up until 3 a.m. Because when I'm messing with you, I can always find something to talk about, right? So that's what it turned into. Like we probably started talking, I don't know, around 7. It's getting late. I don't know why. We're just talking about random stuff. If you guys don't know, I am someone who is not religious. I know how people get and like to tussle with that.
Really? What did I do?
So I always make it very clear and want to know like what the person I'm talking to interested. This is what I'm saying. People be afraid to ask questions. I be asking these type of questions before you can even see me, because I'm just trying to see some. Trying to see some. So I remember we were talking about religion. He was saying he was a Christian. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not. I grew up Christian. Like, that's not my vibe. He was cool with it. I was like, okay, cool. Like, we were just like getting more and more into stuff, right? And I don't know, like, y'all know, if you guys watch my videos, watch especially like on Instagram, TikTok, this is a story that proves I practice what I preach. I don't know how I got into it. I think when we were talking about Christianity, especially within like the Black community, I think I was like expressing my frustrations for like I always like dabble into like, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? And it was just something that was like crossing the lines of the queer community and the Christian community. Probably something about like how they treat them, right? And so like he was just saying how like, oh yeah, like I'm not that type of guy, whatever, blah blah. Blah. And so yeah, I think I was like leading with the like, it's so strange when people say they don't have a problem with the queer community, but it's always about the closeness of it. Like, oh, but if that was my kid, I'd be mad, blah blah blah. And I was just like, I think I was just talking about something, being passionate about something I believe in. And he decides to say something along the lines of like, oh, my kids would never be gay. And I was like, what do you mean? That's a very interesting statement to dictate about someone else's life, especially someone else's life that isn't here yet. So I cock my neck and I'm trying to remember if I heard that right. I'm like, what do you mean? Why would your kids not be gay? Like, what would be wrong with that? And he'd be like, oh no, like, nah, like, that would not be my kids. That's not my type of thing. Not my kids. Like, So I'm like, oh, so you're one of them. I'm like, oh, so you are one of the, oh, I'm cool with it, blah, blah, but as long as it's not too close to me. So I immediately start cussing him out, as I should, because what are you really talking about? I just explained how those type of people piss me off, and now you're talking like that. Because what would be wrong with if your kids were like that? So I'm going in, and he's like, no, I just mean they wouldn't be like that. Because I mean, like, I'm not gay, and like, no one, right? Like, they wouldn't be raised around people like that. I'm like, how do you know? I'm like, they could have friends in school. I know people who are, I was like, what do you mean? And I was like, and I was just going in on the real. I was like, just because I was like, gay kids come from straight couples all the time. You don't need to be around it. Like, it's just who they are. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm getting like so mad at him, and he's always telling me like, wait, no, like that's not what I meant. And like, one thing in 2025, I don't have time to hear about that's not what you meant. What you said is what you meant, or you should have thought before you said it. So I'm going in on him. I'm like, stop talking to me. I said I don't want to hear it. I heard what you said. Like, you said it crystal clear. I'm trying to end the call. He's like, Alicia, wait, like you're really cool. Like, there is like, I could say something like, I promise you I'm not. I promise you I'm not. I'm like, yes, you are. I'm like, why are you even speaking about like someone who's not even here yet? In the sense of like, they, like, I'm just like so mad because don't play with me, guys. I practice what I preach, which is why I said homophobia is not welcome on this page, despite the title. This is not a story. This is not a space to be homophobic or to bully gay people. This is simply me talking about my experience. Your reminder again, because if not, I'm gonna get you. I love the block button.
We find out who you are. Trust, you will be dealt with. Period.
So he just keeps saying like Alicia, like I promise I'm not, like wait. And so like again, I'm really trying, but like literally bigoted people in big 2025 make my ass itch. Like, I'm like, if there's something that would prove that you're not, I'm like, say it. I'm like, say it. What do you mean you promise you're not? I'm like, if you're not, then what would prove it? Like, so I'm listening. I'm like, and he's like, nah, I'm not gonna say it. Like, I don't know you like that, but like, Alicia, I promise I'm not. And I'm like, bye, like, blah, blah, blah. So like, I'm literally on the verge of like, stop talking to me. I don't want to hear it. I'm blah, 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 blah. He's like, Alicia, wait, like, I'm not, because like, I'm definitely bi.
No, I'm not. I'm gay. I'm gay.
Y'all, I promise you, I had never been so confuzzled in my life. Out of all the things I thought he was gonna say, like, like people love, people love to bring up random reasons as to like, I'm not this because blah blah, blah, or I'm not this because I know someone like that. I was expecting it to be something stupid, and I was like, what? I was like, you mean like bisexual? And he's like, yeah, like I am. And I was like, then are you talking like that if that's true? I was like, what? I was like, if that's true, I was like, why are you speaking this way and speaking negatively about people like you? Like, what's wrong with you? And he was like, no, like, I'm not lying, like, for real. He was like, I am, like, I'm sorry I said that. I was like, kind of like projecting because, like, I kind of grew up in a family like that, but like, I promise you what I'm saying is 100% true. And I'm like, oh, oh, y'all, it literally felt like I said, like, y'all ever seen that meme where like about the Jubilee debates? It's like, y'all see how I reacted to a man trying to get with me and trying to think he could say stuff like that about queer people around me? They would have to drag me out of Jubilee. I can't hold my tone with people like that. I literally can't. Again, but again, y'all, you know how some men are so manipulative. I was like, are you for real? Because I'm like, if you are for real, why are you speaking about yourself like that? Like, what? And then he explains, and I don't want to like get into all of that because it's his business, but he literally tells me like the story, and he's like, yeah, I definitely like both. And I was like, okay, like thank you for like feeling like you were able to tell me about this, because I was literally like, have you ever been honest with someone about that? Because think about it, y'all. I know it's very hard, which is why I still have empathy for this man, even though he had me fucked up. But that's gonna be the end of the story. This was so long ago, and I didn't even like. I really contemplated telling this story because again, it's like it's a sensitive topic that I always want to make sure there's a safe space for on my page. So he tells me the story. I'm like, does anyone know who you are? Like, I know how hard it is. You're a black man, you're an athlete, you come from a Christian family. I was like, a friend? I was like, none of your friends know who you are? You haven't told a friend, like anyone about this? And he was just like, no, like, and I literally don't plan to. But he's like, I mean, I just said it because, like, I saw how mad you got. And I saw, like, obviously this was a safe space. And I really wanted, like, a chance with you. And I was just, like, taken back, y'all. Because, again, this isn't a big deal to me. Like, I know everyone has a right to who they want to date or who, like what they get into, but I'm the type of person like I date men, right? I'm straight. I don't mind dating someone who, like a man who is pan or a man who is bi. Like, if you like women, you like me. Like, you know what I'm saying? So this wasn't gonna make me like not talk to him or anything, but I was just like, that's crazy. Like, it turned into a calmer situation. Like, honestly, I feel like it was probably a lot for him to even say that, so he didn't want to talk about it too much. But once again, I was just like, oh, like, well, yeah, this doesn't change how I feel. I was honestly really mad because I thought you were something different. And that's what blew me away because y'all always hear how they're like, it's always the most homophobic men, the men who have to scream to the top of their lungs how much they don't like it, who are. And so this was crazy to me because I'm like, this is the first time I've seen that trope play out. Because I'm one of those people, I don't buy into that. Like, I think sometimes it even gets a little homophobic to the point where we're always like, men who do this, gay. Men who do that, like, it's let them live. Like, let them live. I'm like, I'm not set on this on the sense that every single homophobic person is secretly, you know. But I was like, that's crazy how this is the first time I've seen it play out. So I was just like, okay, well, like, yeah, that's safe with me. Like I said, I'm never going to speak about this man's identity to anyone. Like, what? So I was just like, well, yeah, like, you didn't have to be afraid to tell me that. Basically, whatever, cool, we're cool. And I'm just like mind boggled because, like I said, I'd never heard something like that. So yeah, I really did not care. I really did not care. I was still just as attracted to this man. I still wanted to go on a date with him. Also, I was like, what a good sign. Like, I was cussing him out and going off on him, and he didn't even fire back. Because he knew. So, mind you, that was it. Fast forward, we're talking a couple more days. It's normal. We're chill. We still like each other. We're still texting throughout the day. We're still FaceTiming like probably every night. And I remember this. See, like I said, I'm not a homophobic bitch. That didn't bother me. Well, also, I'm not saying like girls who don't want to date men who also, you know, like are homophobic because it is your choice, you know, who you want to date. But I'm just saying personally, that doesn't bother me, right? That doesn't bother me. So I remember this is the day that he ruined it for himself, though. So communication had been A1. The whole days we've been talking, texting, FaceTiming. Yeah, just learning more about each other, right? This probably only lasted like a week. So, what is wrong with men who sit on the bench thinking that game day is such a big deal? Y'all, I literally, this day gave me war flashbacks. I used to date a football player who rode the bench, who had a god complex, like ghosted me. Well, it was like at the time of the, like, if you know, you know, it was at the end of our, when our relationship was starting to fail. Just like didn't care to communicate with me, would ghost me, would decline my, like, he was just so mean to me, especially like on game days and having like a little bit of a distance. And yeah, it was just one of those things where I was like, oh, I'm starting to realize he doesn't like me anymore. Anyway, so that was my last experience with an athlete. So whatever. It's game day. Boom. He tells me he's on his way to his game. It's like hours before his game. Why is he doing the same thing my ex used to do? Mind you, if it was like game day, I'm I'm off to the game, I'll text you when the game's over, blah blah blah. But no, like it's in the sense of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna still communicate with you like normal, blah blah blah. Because I literally asked like, oh, did you want to just text me when everything's done? But like, oh no, I still want to talk to you up with the red. Communication became ass. Like posting, doing the same thing. Like I think I don't know what it is. Why men don't like to play with me. Like I'm not crazy. I have another story time coming up soon too. Like you want to do that after we just talked about communication and you blah, blah blah, and I see you're doing that, leaving me on red for hours, but you're active on social media, I'ma just block you. Because I already told you. I already told you. But yeah, it's game day. He ghosts me hours before the game. Like mind you, the game was probably at like what time do those games start? Maybe like 6? He probably ghosted me at like 1, like before whatever. And then after the game, like posting end of the game highlights and still just ignoring me, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like I said, like it had been great communication, so it's just very confusing. um he finally responds, and I'm very quick with that. I immediately set the like, you just ghosted me in the middle of the day. Like, you good? Were you really busy that whole time? Why am I immediately met with attitude? He talking about, I just had a terrible game. Get off my ass. I wasn't even on it, but I'm about to get on it now. I'm about to get in there now. So I'm like, what? I'm trying to keep it cute. I'm like, boy, you're only a week old. You're only a week old. Relax. Like that is one of my pet peeves is like men when I just like explain or ask a question regarding how I feel or what's going on, they're immediately triggered. That's the type of man I'm not interested in dating anymore. You think any conversation is an attack? Is an argument? She always trying to argue. Nigga, I'm just talking to you. Like I cannot deal with a childish ass man like that. Boy boo. So I'm like, what? But I'm like, okay, he just had a bad game. I'm like, okay, well, obviously you're very right now. I'm like, do you want to just talk like when you get home? Like, you want to just call me and like instead of whatever? And he was like, yeah, but like I want to talk to you. So I'm like, oh, so he want to talk to me, but he didn't want to hear anything I really had to say. He just wanted me to be there and coddle him and have good vibes with him after he ghosted me in the middle of the day. But I did it. But we'll get into that. So I'm like, okay, whatever. We're talking. He gets home. He calls me. He calls me. And he is being so weird, you guys. Like, very, very, like, blatantly frustrated, which, like, I get if you had a bad game. But it's like, if it was really that bad, I'm like, we didn't have to talk to like I'll be like it was like silence, like blank stare, like it was kind of scaring me, like why are you that upset over a game, like it wasn't championships or anything. And so I remember I'm explaining, like he's just being so rude, like okay, talk, you want to talk about this, talk. Me trying to look me trying to look for who he's talking to. So like I said, he's being rude to me over text, he's being rude to me on the phone, and I'm still, he's so glad 19, 18-year-old crash out Alicia isn't here, because who are you talking to? Or even me now, like if you were acting like that, blocked. Because you having a negative emotion, being angry, being frustrated is fine. People are fine to have those feelings, but not being able to like communicate that, like, honestly, I'm really like, can we talk in the morning so I'm not like aggressive with you? Like, that's the type of grown man that I want to date, not like you just being rude as to me just talking to you. So I explain it. I'm just like, well, yeah, I don't really like the lack of communication. And he was like, it's a game day. Like, when I'm in my game day, I just take the whole day to focus about it because I'm really trying to focus. I'm really trying to get somewhere. You know, the community college niggas that think they're going somewhere. And I'm like, oh, okay, like that's fine. Like if you kind of step away from everything on game days. But I was like, at the beginning of the day, you could have told me that instead of like saying you were going to talk to me all day and me expecting it and then being ghosted, like whatever. So I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Like you could have just told me that. This could have been avoided. I don't remember what I said. Like I just said something about like, yeah, so you could have just communicated that. I'm like a very good listener, just like I'm communicating right now. Like I was so calming. I think I said something about like, I really don't understand why you're being like aggressive when I'm just speaking to you. I'm not trying to get on your, like you said in text. I was like, I'm literally just talking to you about how I feel, what I expect, so we can move on. I swear, y'all, when I said whatever I said about him sounding aggressive, why did I hear doo doo? And see, this is when the Scorpio starts kicking in. I'm like, so I text like, oh, did you just hang up? Like I'm in denial when men do that. I'm like, did you just hang up or like did something happen? And he's like, nah, like I hung up since you think I'm aggressive. So I'm like, okay, I'm good off talking to you if this is how you handle conflict. Why is my phone ringing? You just hung up. I'm just like, oh my god, what is wrong with this man? Because like I said, it's okay to have space, especially when people are new. People are not always gonna be happy. Like he was always super nice and chill. I was like, why is he just so aggressive and mean all of a sudden on day 6 of my trial? Like I was so confused. And so like he said that and I was like, I apologize if like the word like he was basically just saying like aggressive. You think I'm aggressive, so blah blah. I was like, I'm sorry if that specific word triggered you. Like if that triggers you, I won't use that again or we'll try to find another way to describe it. But I was just like, I just don't understand why it's like you're treating me like this. I'm like, I had nothing to do with your day, like blah blah. I was like, you can just tell me if you need space or whatever. He was so weird, y'all. He was so weird. He was like, really, I can just tell you when I'm upset and like when I need space. I'm like, yes, you can. That's called communicating. He's like, really? Like he was so weird, y'all. Like he started stop like being so aggressive then. He was like, really? I was like, yes, like that's much better than you being rude right now. It's just like telling me how you feel or whatever. Because mind you, I didn't force him to keep talking to me. Like when he texted me after the game, remember when I said he was being aggressive over text? And I said, do you want to just talk later? He said, no, I still want to talk to you, just not about this. So yeah, and then he said we could talk at home. So he's like, yeah, okay, I really appreciate it. And I'm like, okay, like good night, feel better. We could have a better talk about it in the morning. He's like, yeah, for sure. I go to sleep. I'm so weirded out. I'm like, do I want to talk to him? Like, it was so weird, y'all. It's giving like future athlete husband that comes home and hates his wife. And his like that's it was like, why are you so nice and chill like the first 5 days? And then this day you're just so like aggressive and like blank stare, like I'm not even talking to the same person. It was so weird, y'all. It's so weird. I go to sleep, I wake up, we're texting a little bit in the morning. I'm immediately frustrated because my patience is wearing thin. I'm entirely too nice to this man. You ghosted me yesterday out of nowhere. When you responded, you were rude as whatever. But I still gave you the company you wanted until you had space to talk about my feelings. When you had space, not really. When we talked about my feelings on the phone, you're rude as again and hung up on me. And so now I've been patient waiting the whole day for you to get it together so I can talk about what I want to talk about. And in the morning, he's like, oh, I'm going to my cousin's house. I'm not going to be able to call you till like the end of the day, probably like nighttime about this. Like, because mind you, nothing was resolved. Because again, I'm like, you're not having a great night. You're tired. You just had a game. Sleep. We can talk in the morning. And you said yes. So now you're up. Nah, nah, nah. So now I'm annoyed. But mind you, I'm like, whatever. I think I literally just like left him on red because I was like, yeah, do I really want to talk to him? I recorded for YouTube the day before and I uploaded my video on YouTube and I uploaded like my little clips as I do to promote the story. Um, y'all, what is in the water? This man slides up on my story. It's a podcast episode, right? I'm just, y'all, a lot of times when I record, well, half the time I record videos, it's feelings in real time. Half is just stuff I'm reflecting on and learning. And this was one of those videos I was just reflecting, kind of like on that time with my ex and like other people, just like the lust and like the communication. Like it was just like reflecting on like the past. Mind you, because I've only been talking to this guy for 5 days, you're nothing to talk about. Why he slide up and he's like, yeah, yeah, go tell your fans all of our business. You know what? It's only like a weekend and we're already arguing. Like I really liked you, but you're gonna record and tell our business to the internet. Um and we argue too much. Like you always be trying to argue with me when I was already having bad days. So I just don't think we should talk anymore. The way I literally read that text and laughed out loud, how could I make a YouTube video about you before you pissed me off? I recorded that video early in the day Saturday. You didn't ghost me probably till a couple hours after. Like how could I, the whole issue was last night, nigga. How could I make a YouTube video about you before you pissed me off? Talking about go talk to your followers, you're gonna be the type to share it to the internet. Nigga, you're not that important. You're not that important, I promise you. So I'm just laughing. I'm like, I don't know how I can make a video about you before you piss me off, but okay. Like, I literally was just like, all right, like that's what I said. I made it clear that I was like, but I shouldn't have. I should just let him think whatever. But I was like, but all right, unfollowed him, unsaved his number, and I've never heard from him since. Y'all, like, men are so weird. That YouTube video wasn't about you, but this one is. He got his wish. He got his wish. No, I'm just playing, y'all. I'm just playing. But yeah, that was the first time I've ever seen the, men who are extremely homophobic who have to shout it to the. A lot of times they be on the low. This was my first experience with that, and I was gagged, not in the sense of him coming out to me or sharing that with me, because like I said, that is not a big deal. Like again, I don't feel like people in big 2025, even though this was a while ago, this wasn't this year, need to come out. Like being queer, loving who you want to love is completely normal. It shouldn't be this big thing. But I still like acknowledge how it was for him, especially to say it to a girl he's talking to. Yeah, I was just gagged that that's the first time I had seen that trope be true. But like I said, I'm not weird. That didn't bother me. It was just like a lot. Like to go from cussing someone out from thinking they're homophobic to them being gay themselves, but it's fine. But yeah, yeah. I feel like I this story time was it was owed, because Nick, why are you talking to me like that? Why are you speaking to me like that? Like I hate little boys, emotionally immature boys who can't take a conversation, who take everything as an attack, who love bomb you at first and switch up. So yeah, good riddance. But that was story time, y'all. Isn't that so? Isn't how it ended so weird? Like he was so weird. But yeah, guys, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. That's my story. I just want to reiterate again at the end of this story that once again, if you are not new to my page, any of my queer people on here or other, like, this is always a safe space for you guys. Like I said, I made it extremely clear with a lot of notices at the beginning. This isn't the space to make fun of him in regards to his sexuality. You can make fun of how he acts, but not that. This isn't the safe space to be homophobic, to call men, like this is not that safe space at all. Because my page and my pages will always be a safe space for queer people. This was just my personal experience. I'm still, even though I don't like your tone, I still feel very honored that I make people feel safe enough to say these things. Um, because yeah, it'll always be a safe space. And like I said, there's details in the story that are I never even used his Elijah name, even though I gave him a name. But yeah, the identity will always be concealed. It'll never be anything funny like that. Safety first on this page. I love you guys. I already said Happy Pride Month during June, but Happy Pride Month again because you guys exist beautifully 365 days a year. Please comment what you think about this story time. If it's respectful, if not, I will be getting out. You will be dealt with. Um, yeah, comment what you think. Have you ever had an experience like that? Have you ever seen this trope play out? Even with the rest of the story time, have you ever had a guy who's just acted so weird and immature like that? Let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.